damn it. I'm not gonna do
What would
this.
you have to do?
Nothing.
You too close. Watch out, JJ.
I'm not gonna do this.
Daddy.
Yes, my baby. Say hi.
Hi.
Say hi, everybody.
Hi, buddy.
What?
Oh, let me pull up the back.
What are we talking about this week again? I
Oh,
left
yeah,
my
my
paper
answer.
upstairs.
I left my
but
paper upstairs.
Shaman, Sean. Wait, I ain't. Hold on. I wasn't looking at you. There you go.
What did you just
beautiful
do?
self.
What did you just do? Just like
Magic.
magic.
That's Sean Magic. That's beats on tea sprinkles right there.
No, really, what you do? That's
Magic.
Whatever.
Look at you, son.
Introduce yourself. You are so conceited.
I'm not conceited. I'm confident. There's a difference. Yo, it's your man, Sean.
And your girl, Gabrielle.
And y'all
we
watching.
Are the Moors. Work on that. What?
It's your man, Sean, better known as Beats on T.
And your girl, Gabrielle.
And y'all watching Quality Time with the Moors. When your kids shut the door, right? Boom. They can't get out, right? They stuck. So what you can do, take a rubber band. And spin it around a couple of times. And you wanna, right? And then come around this one. I'm gonna just leave it like that so I can get it off easier. See, it holds it in, so that way. On a scale of 1 to 10, the effectiveness of this to prevent them from locking themselves in the room unnecessarily because they can't turn the knob. Oh, excuse me, a 4 because it depends on how rough the kid is.
So for our second hack, we are going to use rubber bands and we're going to wrap it around here, and it's supposed to prevent from the kids pushing on it and soap coming out. So I actually have 4 rubber bands. I'm going to wrap around here a few times. We need to do this to the ones in the bathroom in the tub because he decided to pump a lot out and then was like cleaning the tub with it, talking about I'm cleaning. Alright, so that's it. It works! Ha! Ta-da! I like this one. I rate this a 10.
We taped up this side, taped up this side, and then we just folded the pieces of tape over.
Yeah.
You're not funny.
We really
You're
have
not
to schedule,
funny.
like even if he's still in the house, we gotta have like Andy come and sit with him for an hour downstairs while we do recording.
Alright, right, so let's see.
Baby, you don't even have no nails to cut.
I do.
Yo, you are just like so well groomed, it don't make no sense. I love that about you.
Alright, so you see, you can like see the nail clippings just stuck in there. I mean, I don't know, because there was a couple of pieces that fell to the floor. Why do I feel like... What is this? Ew, get that off of me!
What is it?
No, stop, it's gay. Get it off me. It's our halo.
That is not no halo. That's a flower princess crown, and I ain't no goddamn flower princess.
Okay.
Look good, boy. Keep it up.
Those be the little pep talks you be having to yourself. Showing some chest.
Why are you on the
What's your name?
Dio.
Good boy. Daddy's name. You know Daddy's name.
Daddy.
Yeah, but what's
That's
his
right.
what's his other name?
Store.
Give me some.
He's so smart. Good
Wrong
boy.
one, pal. High five.
He don't know mommy's name though. That's your little
What's my
Dino.
name? You mad because you want to be
I
there?
want to be included.
Say good night, Alexa. Tell her good night.
Good night. Sleep tight.
Don't let the mommy bugs bite
What?
you. I wish this mommy bug would bite me. But
Oh,
this baby bug's always awake, flapping his wings. Quality time with the Moors. You're watching More Family TV. And this week we're going to talk about basically when it hits that point where you are now ready to have a family. And in your particular relationship, you've got to get an outsider involved. It's in one of three ways, typically: artificial insemination, adoption, or you got a surrogate. First one is artificial insemination. I mean, you got two options for that. You got the least expensive option where you can do it at home, and then you got the more pricey option where you can do it in a hospital. Now, when you do it at home or in the hospital, either way, you're going to need to purchase sperm from a donor. There are some out there where it's like if the kid ever grows up and wants to find me, they can go through this company to get my updated information as long as the person keeps the company updated. And then, so in that case, it would be up to you. You can use the company to bridge, that gap, or you can just forever leave it alone. But that option's always on the table with some donors. You got to consider that when you're doing this, and you got to get an outsider involved. Do you really want to cut that third wheel out completely? Probably. It's natural to feel that way, but you have to remember that the moment you begin feeling like you want to have a family, you are now making decisions for someone else who's not old enough to make them for themselves. But when they get older and realize you made certain decisions for them, if they really don't feel like it was in their well-being, they can end up resenting you for that. So be careful. Or they might not even want to know. You know what I mean? You never know what kind of kid you're going to get.
People ask us, are we going to tell Jay and stuff? Which we will.
Yeah. You would have to really trust the person that you're doing this with if you go with a known donor. Because, and again, you never know how somebody's going to feel once another life is brought into this world. Because when it comes to children, we disregard how anybody else is going to feel about what we feel is right. It's only natural to do that as a parent. So if you go with a donor, they may be on board with everything you're saying now, but then when they see that child, they may do a 360 and feel completely different, and you need to be prepared for that. So you got to remember, it's ways to do it where you're knocking down the cost, but you need to remember the pros and cons, and you can't jump into this, bring a kid into it, and then put yourself in a certain situation because you're trying to save as much money as possible, which there's nothing wrong with it. But just understand where these decisions could lead to, because it's not just about your feelings and your emotions. You're going to project that off into this child once that baby's involved. Same thing with adoption. Adopting from somebody that you know, another scary thing, because it could play out like it's pretty much like the same situation playing out if you got a sperm donor that you know. You know what I mean? It'd be the same thing with adopting. Now with adoption, there's two types. There's closed and then there's open. Open adoption is typically where they maintain a relationship with the biological parents. And it may be visits that you have to do once a year, a couple times a year, however it gets arranged in the open adoption agreement. And that could take a toll on you, you got to think about how, like, everybody you feel about it, you know what I'm saying? And it's like when you making these decisions, you have to really sit down and think about the fact that one day you're going to have to look your kid in their face, no matter how you toss and turn it, have this conversation, because it will come out. When you keep stuff like that swept under the rug for so long, and they getting older and older and older and older, and they just don't know, and then they find out, like, that completely shakes their world up. You have to think about that. They may come out of it, no problem, ain't worried about it, but you need to remember to think about that. Then you got closed adoption, where you completely cut off contact. Now you can also get lawyers involved and have it so that, if they ever want to get to know you, is it okay to reach out? And then boom, shit could go smooth. They may not ever ask. They may not ever want to. Closed adoption could also mean that you have to send pictures every so often. We know a guy who has that type situation set up. He get pictures of his son every so often. You know what I mean? And he just kind of keeps his distance. And then you've got the surrogate. That could go one of several ways, because again, we had a surrogate, and we also adopted. And we also know the donors, so it's it's kind of complicated. You know what I mean? And it's like kind of open, but it's like a lot of, you know, specifics and how certain things are dealt with. So a surrogate is when you have somebody else carry the baby. You know what I mean? It could be somebody that's carrying the egg that's already been, you know, artificially inseminated. And that could be with one of the parties that's in a relationship, or it could be a donor, and it'll get put into somebody if, say, both parties involved can't have kids together. You know, it could be someone you know, or it could also be somebody that you seek out through different services or agencies. Yeah, so, and then also, you know, with certain couples, sometimes it might be, you know, in trans relationships. Think about that before you have a histo. I'm going to talk about that in my brotherhood video, because we doing histos this week. Because not all trans men still have the equipment to carry. You got to think about that before you do that surgery. What if your partner cannot? Do you then want to? You got to really sit down and really, really think on this. You don't want to make quick decisions, because it might affect you or bother you in the long run.
People ask, will we tell Gio? And we will tell him that, you know, well, make it known of who his biological parents are, where he kind of get like a better understanding. We'll actually like try to break it down to him. He does actually have siblings as well, so I think that's important that he knows who his siblings are as well.
Yeah, on November 3rd, Gio's gonna meet one of his sisters.
Well, yeah, for the first time.
For the first time, yeah. He has another sister that was adopted as well. And she's coming back up into Jersey with her parents. Are both of them coming?
I'm not sure. I know definitely the mom. I'm not sure if the dad. I'm not sure.
So, you know, that'd be like pretty cool. There's a set of twins that are the older two. And then it's our son. And then it's
Layla.
his baby sister, Layla. Gio does have another half sister. That's the oldest. He's like outrun by women.
Yeah.
My poor baby. You gonna mess around and have all boys, so he got brothers.
I feel like
I'll be satisfied if she had one more boy, even though they got stink ass attitudes. Like he be trying to flex his little testosterones in the room with me. Like, boy,
because he's a little man.
Come on now. Telling you, I don't need to order no more prescriptions of tea. I'm gonna just suck it out of him, because he be just chest all puffed out like what. We definitely gonna tell him. We gonna let him know and make sure he understand. You know what I'm saying, and also make sure he understands it's a stigma around adoption when kids find out they're adopted. It's nothing wrong with that. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. You know what I'm saying? Because it was somebody who saw you and fell in love. You know what I'm saying? And that is what it is. You know what I mean? And I think sometimes kids get so hung up on the fact that it's looked at to be a bad thing to be adopted, and it's not. Not at all. That means somebody loves you that much. They came in and you know, saw you out. Also, there's people in families that, oh, they're adopted. That ain't no kin to me. That I don't want nothing to do with them. I wish one of you motherfuckers would. Because if you say it in front of my son, I'm going to knock the taste out your mouth. That way my baby knows how loved he is. And you ain't going to disrespect him or put him down like that. You got to finish it. Come on.
I don't even know how we closed out the last time.
Neither do I. That's why you got to just freestyle. Like,
I'm not good like that. Well, until next time.
What was that? Come on now. Come on. You got this.
Oh, my God.
You got this, seed.
Oh, my God. I'm, like, so rehearsed. I really be having, like, think about
You be rehearsing?
Stuff. Well, I be thinking stuff in my head. Like, I overanalyze everything, so I be, like, really thinking.
Yo, I'm surprised we got this done before the camera died. Since you can't do it. You're going to get better.
There. I will. I promise.
The next
For
video,
myself, I will.
You're
I'm
doing
gonna do the
it.
most talking.
You're doing the intro and the outro. It's not negotiable, y'all. She has to do it.
All right.
You're going to be thinking about that until the next time we record, ain't you?
Hold on, so you're...
I hope we have our intro music by the next time. I'm going to be working on that.
Oh, yeah, that'll be fun. Because we're going to have... Oh, yeah, and I'm gonna be participating in that. You know?
And the intro music?
Well, not the actual music, but the video part.
Intro. That's what you're talking about. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
We got to find us a...
A what?
Alright. Nah, I don't want YouTube be nosy, be trying, you know. Y'all been rocking with the Moors. I hope you enjoyed More Family TV this week. As always, how could you not not love and enjoy and look forward to your quality time with us.
Right.
It's your boy Sean, better known as Beats on T.
And your girl Gabrielle.
Alexa, good night.
Whenever you have a dream inside your heart, never let it go, because
Word.
dreams are the tiny seeds from which a beautiful tomorrow grows. Have a wonderful
She
dream
sound like my
tonight.
Kindle.
Good night.
Good night, Alexa.
Word up.
Goodbye.
You need to keep positivity around you. So I'm going to tell y'all right now. If you got some hating, negative, just life-sucking, toxic balls of waste in your life,
Remove yourself.
you ain't got to deal with them. Just remember, people only going to treat you how you allow them to. You teach people how to treat you, yo. Word up. And please, y'all, vote. November 6th, please.
Yes,
Get your
please.
ass out and vote. Please, 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 y'all. I mean, y'all need to come out in record numbers like higher than when Obama ran. You heard me? Because
Yeah.
this is serious. We done already messed up at the tippy top. We need to get it on lock from the head down. Understand, homeboy may be at the head, but the neck can turn that head any which way it needs to go, whether the head wants to go that way or not. He better close his eyes, because if we can get from the neck down, that head don't mean nothing without the rest of the body. You understand me?
I love listening to you talk.
Why?
Because I just do.
Yo, we been trying to close this out for a couple minutes. My camera still ain't died. It's just gonna cut off from this. You alright?
Just started.
Yo.
Look me, Mike, and tell me I'm just started.
You alright.
That's it.
Word.
That's all.
You straight? You see? God knew what he was doing making me a trans man.
Because we'd had like 9 kids. We had a kid feature.
You've been watching more family TV. We hope you enjoyed your quality time with the Moors. I'm Sean, better known as Beats on T. This is the last time we closing out this video. This is for real. What's happening right now? What's going down? We out of here.
Bye.